The Village of, the Village of Lincoln Heights regular council meeting is now in session. Today's date is Monday, June 12th, 2023. The time is 7:39. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilman Durant Daniels. No response. Councilwoman Tanya Key. No response. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Present.
Mayor, we have 5 who are present, 2 who are absent. Councilman Daniels won't be
I'd like
here
to make a
because
motion to excuse those two, if we could. Mr. Daniels and Ms. Key.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion passes.
Okay. The prayer will be given by Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Please bow your heads before the Almighty. Father God, we humble ourselves before you so that we can decrease and you can increase. Thank you for your love, kindness, mercy you have shown in this village. Pour into us as we move forward to do what is pleasing in your eyes. Protect all who is seated around this table. Thank you for yesterday, what you're doing today, and looking forward to what you're going to do tomorrow. This we ask in your precious, marvelous name. Amen.
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 To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion in order for the acceptance of the agenda, the regular agenda, consent agenda, and supplemental agenda.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion in order for the filing of the journal for Committee of the Whole meeting minutes for May 22nd, regular council meeting minutes for May 22nd, and special council meeting minutes from June 1st, June 5th, and June 8th.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Announcements. Councilwoman Jeter?
Okay, I have one announcement. Due to holiday on Monday, Juneteenth, we are going to move the Safety Service Committee meeting to Thursday, June the 22nd at 5:30 p.m. All are welcome to come out.
Okay. Councilwoman Baber?
Yes, want to invite the residents and anybody that want to come to the Juneteenth function on this Sunday coming up between the hours of 1 and 4. All are welcome.
Did you want to let them know where it's going to be at, the location?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. On the corner of Jackson and Douglas.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor?
I have no announcements.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am. The finance meeting will be meeting, finance committee meeting will meet immediately following the safety committee meeting. Also, St. Simon's is having a summer camp reading program. It starts on the 20th. It's from 9 to 2 at St. Simon's. Come around to the parking lot, enter through the parish hall. It is a 5-week program. Breakfast, lunch, and snacks are served. It's a very engaging program. Call 771-4828, 513-771-4828. And it is for 3rd through second through fourth grade.
Is there a cost?
Thank you.
Is there a cost?
No, it's free.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have any announcements. Any hearing from the residents?
No, Mayor.
Okay. All right. Let's see, we'll go into the regular agenda then. Communications from our Clerk of Council, Lisa Randolph.
Thank you, Mayor. I have about 3 announcements. All of these are programs that are sponsored by St. Monica's Recreation Center. The first one is for kids. It's a free lunch every Friday. And they would like to thank Food for the Soul for the lunches will be provided every Friday from 12:30 p.m. beginning Friday, June 9th. That was last week at St. Monica's. And that's on a first come, first served basis. It is for kids only. Every Friday, 12:30 p.m. for lunch. The second one, also sponsored by St. Monica's, and it's regarding Summer Reading Pals. It takes place every Wednesday from 1 until 2 p.m. They provide free snacks. You enter from Douglas Street. For more information, talk to Miss Monica about the event. That's every Wednesday from 1 until 2 p.m. Summer Reading Pals. The last one, they have the acronym STEAMS. STEAMS ahead with Step Up 2023. Althea Augustine Technology Learning Center, in collaboration with St. Monica's Recreation Center, announces free Step Up summer program for 1st through 6th graders. That's an enrichment program that integrates reading with science, technology, engineering, art, math, and social studies. It happens every Tuesday and Thursday from June 6th through July 27th. It's for St. Monica members only. No additional registration is required. Child must check in the rec center by 2:30 p.m. for 1st through 3rd graders, 4 p.m. for 4th through 6th graders, small group and one-on-one reading, technology, science, and activities from 6 to 7 p.m. All these announcements will be placed on the village website for further information and review. So a lot is going on in the summer for kids at St. Monica's. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next communications will be from myself. In your package, you'll have the Lincoln Heights Mayor's Court monthly report for May 2023. Total to the state, $112.50. Total area fines to external agencies, 0. Total to other entities, including restitution, $4.50. Total bonds forfeited to the village, 0. Total to village, including miscellaneous receipts, adjustments, and BA fees, $804. Total to be dispersed, $921. Also listed in your packet is the mayor's court at a glance, which will show you the monies that we've received since the beginning of the year, and you'll be able to follow the collections, the payments, and how much has came in. Thankful that our clerk of court, Vicki Bowers, has been working diligently to start purging and working through tickets that we have that are still listed in our mayor's court. So she's working really hard. We are looking to have mayor's court once a month. We're still airing that out. I know that the citations, the sheriffs are continuing to cite our residents downtown, but we do have some still on the books that have been paying out instead. So that's the report I wanted to give you. Any questions regarding mayor's court? Okay. If there's nothing further on it, is there a motion to accept the report as given?
Motion to accept. Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, is there any old business?
Before you go to that, did you want to talk about this? I think this is fantastic.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did forget that, and I had it right in front of me. That was gonna be added. So, Soapbox of Cincinnati, they do a lot of online, stories for throughout Hamilton County. They also are one of the, online, individual organizations that we use through First Suburbs to get stories out, throughout Hamilton County and throughout a lot of municipalities, I'm sorry, that work within the First Suburbs Southwest Consortium. So this particular month, they chose to do a story again on Lincoln Heights. And the Lincoln Heights story they did was moving beyond past to a hopeful future. So they contacted me and asked me would I talk a little bit about Lincoln Heights. So they came out. Actually, I talked to them on the phone, and then I invited them out to the village. And so one of the things that I wanted them to focus on was the positive things that we have within the village of Lincoln Heights. So they went throughout the village, and we went through the healthcare connection. I gave them a, actually, I think we stopped by St. Monica's too, as well, and we went through some of our new housing that's being built through HERC, and they went through Lincoln Heights Health Center. So the story talks about our community cleanup day. They have pictures of myself, even our vice mayor doing one of the Lincoln Heights cleanups from last year. And they basically talked about some positive things with our village moving forward and how we're all invested in trying to move our village forward, but also working, letting them know how we're working hard for the next generation of residents and families. So it's a very great, it's a wonderful story that they did on Lincoln Heights, and I'm very excited about it, that they're showing a good light on Lincoln Heights and showing everybody that reads the story that our narrative is so much different than it was before, and I really appreciated them reaching out to Lincoln Heights. So I sent email to everyone. We're going to have Mr. Thornhill or Joe Shields put the story on the website, so our residents can see it as well.
Well, I thank you. It's a wonderful read, and I just started it a few minutes ago. So thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Yeah, so we are moving forward, but it was really nice working with someone that knew how hard we have been working, and they were willing to tell the story in Lincoln Heights in a good way. So I was really thankful that they reached out. David reached out and wanted to talk about Lincoln Heights in a good way. We talked about things in the past and the future, but they were very, very excited to see the rich history of our African American community and how we have moved the needle. So thankful. I thank all my council members, and I bragged on how all of us have worked together to make the right decisions to move us. So they were interested. So I talked about everybody. So thank you. All right. So that's all I have. All right. So the next new business. Is there any new business?
Mayor, do you want me to do the the legislation there or after we come out of executive session?
We got an executive session.
You can go ahead and do it. Was that the ones you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead.
Do it now.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do it now.
Well, the first one I just want to, guess I got enough copies, remind everybody of is, now that the tax season is over, we do have an ordinance that requires individuals who have rental property to notify us when they have individuals moving in, moving out, so that we can keep up with that, and that would help with our taxes. So hopefully, if we can pass that on to Rita, and they will be able to do what's necessary. So I think I've passed that out before. So I just wanted to bring that to our attention so that we can resurrect that again if necessary, now that we have Rita. so. The other one is, one from Lachlan. Share that one, Chris. Let me make a copy. And this is about the costs when they go out and cut somebody's yard, clean it up or do whatever. We do have an ordinance that allows us to do that. So we need to be, I like to see us do that. So if we have to recommend that, we discuss it further in law and look at it, or ask Mr. Desai to dig up that particular ordinance. Like I said, we've done it before where we pass legislation to say, yes, this is how much it costs to do this yard, and then we put it on the lien. We need to get back to that because the village is looking rough. And if we don't, I mean, this is something that we can almost do before the code enforcer get here. Let's get it shored up so that when the code enforcer does get here, he's got something that he can go and do. So, you know, if we want to have discussion on it, I just think we need to be about it.
Ms. Mitchell, I also would like to see us pull out the ordinance that we did on when we did the garbage and what time to put your garbage cans out. Because I've been seeing a lot of garbage. People put their garbage out and leave the cans out there for several days. So that's something that I would like to see more discussion on in law. Pull that old legislation out to talk about it.
Right.
And see about enforcing that more.
Right, so if we can have it, have ours looked at and see what we need to do to put more teeth into it if necessary. So I don't know if we have to make a motion or we just, I just want to know what we need to do to move it forward. You know, we've got to move it forward, otherwise, we're not gonna be looking good for June 18th, July 15th, or Lincoln Heights Day. It's gonna get worse.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we take that to law.
Second. It's been moved and
Can I
sent.
rescind,
You want me to send something?
can I rescind that? And the reason why I wanna rescind it because we take stuff to law and it's still take another 2 or 3 months. I'm gonna ask Mr. Desai, is this something that we can just move forward with without taking it to law? Cause I think that everybody pretty much agreed that it's something that needs to go on.
Yeah, my recollection is that, much like Ms. Mitchell, we've already got an ordinance that
Right.
says, I think it's 10 inches. If your grass gets above 10 inches, we're going to cite you. And then if you don't cut it, we're going to cut it. And we have, in fact, I think as Ms. Mitchell mentioned in the past, we have went ahead and certified amounts to the county to put on the tax bill. So I don't think it needs to go to law. I think it's just a matter of getting that process back up. So what I can do is I can take a look and provide Mr. Williams and Mr. Key, you know, hey, when you cut a yard, you know, you need to keep track of it and, you know, come up with an average cost, and then we can go ahead and certify, because typically what we would do is do it towards, you know, we do it every 3 months, every 6 months, and just do a whole bunch of them as opposed to doing each individual one. And then with regard to the garbage cans, my recollection is we did pass an ordinance
You
that
did.
says, I think you have to
But
have
we-
them back in
yeah.
by 7 or 8 p.m. the day after garbage or something like that.
Wednesday.
About
We
5.
did. We did about, I think,
Wednesday.
2018, seemed like 17, 18, around those.
Yeah.
But when you say we don't have anybody to enforce it, but if the can is out there, what do we need to do?
Stick a
If
tag
it's
on it.
still out there, what do we need to do that? As well as if we don't have a code enforcer to say, hey, your grass needs to be cut, but can we not do something with the nuisance?
We could, but then that requires us, you know, declaring it a nuisance, and you're right back to You got to get it cut, then you got to get a receipt, then you got to, it's the same steps. It's just two different ways to approach it. And I think it's easier to enforce the ordinance as opposed to going through trying to declare individual lots a nuisance. I do think your point is right, though. I mean, it's a question of manpower. Do we have the manpower to issue the citation? For example, with the garbage cans, you'd have to let the property owner know that you're in violation of village ordinance. Whatever the time is that you have to have your can back in is what it is. And then if they fail to comply, that's when you usually move towards the enforcement mechanism. But you do have to actually cite them.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, to me, it should be easy, especially for the trash situation, because, Chris, you ride the neighborhood every day, right? You understand what I'm saying? So if he ride in the neighborhood on a Wednesday, he already got those sheets of paper in his car. Because he know on Wednesday, that would be the high day that people would leave them out. After a certain time, then just write it and put it on the door or wherever we put it. I'm thinking we don't put it on the trash can, right?
I don't know where they put it. And I'd recommend, I mean, this is
Or write
not
the
something
address in a
unique to
letter.
Lincoln Heights. I mean, you get people in all communities that, and honestly, I think I probably leave mine out longer than I should in my community. But usually, the mayor, who's my next door neighbor, will say, "Hey, Deepak, you gotta get your cans up." I'm like, "Oh, sorry about that, Kathy, I'll do it." You might want to start with just issuing a warning,
Yeah.
or notice or whatever you want to call it, because some people may just not intentionally be doing it, but they just need kind of a reminder. I think Ms. Childs Jeter has a comment.
Yeah, I think you should let the resident know that this, what's coming, before you attach anything to their door or give them a notice or whatever. Let them know these are the ordinances and they are in effect. And that if you don't comply, then this is what the results will be. Let them know that, because we have some new folks in the neighborhood that have no knowledge about what the rules are here. They just moved in and they're here. So I think it's fair if we put out the ordinances and the consequences and put an effective date starting whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
I like when we had the cut your grass or grass is greener on the other side. We can strategically put signs like that throughout the neighborhood. One sign might say, don't forget to roll it back, meaning like roll your trash can back, something that'll be catchy and people will remember. I agree with Ms. Childs Jeter, because don't put a ticket on my door and I didn't know that I was breaking the law. Because some people leave their trash can out. That's just, they take
Forever.
the trash can out, they take the trash out. So if you don't know, you don't know. And they're going to come to court and they're going to say, I didn't know that. So I think that we can do something fancy or fun. Put it on our Facebook page. We put on our Facebook page about that daycare that's not really opened up yet. So why can't we just put little tidbits of information once a week? Don't forget to cut your grass or, trash, just something, make it so that's another way for us to engage with our residents.
Yeah, but then they need to think of a time frame. How long you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it, do a save the date, send something out, and then when they do go back and give them a warning, have that ordinance attached to that warning also. That way, in case whoever, like if they use, because a lot of times when we send the email, the newsletters out, people still say they don't get them. So we have to come up with a way, okay, if we do let them know in advance, when we do start doing the warnings, have the ordinance attached to it so they'll know as well.
Well, Mayor, I really like the face-to-face thing is pass them out to the neighborhood instead of sticking the stamp on them, and way back when, we did have people that would take street by street, take a street and do them, and that way people are going to receive it because there's no address on it, but it has been given to you at your house, in your face, whatever.
Volunteers.
Yeah, and you do have young adults perhaps we can get to do that.
Some volunteers, some boots on the ground.
Some boots on the ground, yeah.
So do you want me to draft a notice to give to the administration that they could then pass out?
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean, it could be like a one-page notice, half of it about cutting your grass and half about the trash cans. And,
Yeah.
they can just hand them out. And then I could have, we will begin enforcement.
What about your junk car thing?
That's coming.
Yeah, I think that's
That's a
probably a little
police
bit
thing.
more involved, but yeah, I mean, the grass and the garbage can, I can do that on a one page, so, is that what council wants me to do?
I move that, do we have to make a motion and just agree to consensus?
I don't think we need a motion,
I
just,
think it's a good idea.
you
We gotta
just say all in
start
favor,
somewhere.
say aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say aye.
You said aye? All right. Let me, she asked me something. She was making a motion, Miss Lisa. All in favor said aye.
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 Okay. Now, what was you saying? I don't know, he just talking it out.
So Deepak, when can we expect to see that document?
I can have that, I would say probably, by Monday of next week. I can have that together, Monday or Tuesday, something like that, early next week to administration.
So after he send it, then we'll see how we gonna put it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this is the last one that I have. We've sat around the table and talked about the chickens.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So, I did some research. Silverton has an ordinance about chickens, how many you can have, and how they're supposed to be maintained and housed, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh,
We do have a livestock ordinance, but it doesn't quite speak to this.
I abstain.
And so I think that we need to ask Mr. Desai I think we need to talk about it. We don't have to do all what they're doing. Ours can be more stringent than what Silverton's is, but I had a complaint about the chickens, so I said, okay. And I'm sure we all have had somebody perhaps tell us, or we've seen them. So just for safety reasons, I think we need to have one so that the individuals who do have chickens as pets, keep them safe as well.
so you can put it in safety?
Wherever it needs to go.
All right.
I don't care where it goes. You all can decide, but the bottom, well, first of all, it doesn't have to go anywhere if we don't want to do anything about it.
No, we need to do
That's the
something
first
about it.
thing.
I don't- Take it to law.
Yeah, take it to law. I abstain from the chickens. The restriction on the chickens.
I don't wanna run any chicken over at 7 o'clock in the morning, so.
I want brown eggs.
All right, chickens. I love chickens. Whoever watching this, we do love chicken to eat. They live- All right.
So
Thank you,
all
Ms.
right, so I
Mitchell.
move that we look at discussing the livestock ordinance in law committee.
Great.
You moved. Did you get a second? It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Okay. All right. Any,
Can you also include those visitors that you get to your house, come to your house and dig all around? Thank you. Just asking. Just asking. That is livestock, right?
Any kind of livestock.
okay, all right. Anything else, Ms. Mitchell?
That's it.
Okay. All right, then we're going to the consent agenda. There's nothing there, and then we'll go straight into the supplemental agenda. Motion order for the first reading of Resolution 2023 R28.
Motion.
Just a reminder too, the motion would be to read by entirety, since council got everything in advance of the meeting by default, it's by title. So if you're making a motion regarding the reading, you want it read in its entirety.
Yep. All right. So the motion is to read by its entirety?
I was to read the title. and stuff. He's skipping the first.
Oh, okay.
He
I'm
was
Well-
giving
sorry.
us information because
Yeah,
of
Ms.
Baber.
Baber made a motion, and I thought she might want a motion to by title, and I was just saying there's no need for a motion, because by default, it's gonna be read by title.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2023-R-28, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to participate in the 2023 Transit Infrastructure Fund Program and to execute contracts as required.
Yes, go ahead.
I did just want to make a comment in case anybody was wondering why it is authorizing the mayor to do this. Since we do this through the Transit Infrastructure Program, they want the finance director to be the chief financial officer, and they will not allow the chief financial officer to also be, I think they call it the CEO of the project. And so they said what they recommend to jurisdictions is just have the mayor be the CEO. So if anybody was wondering why it says mayor, that's why.
Yeah, we talked about it too, because I knew they would say, what? So we, so we did talk about it in the committee of the whole.
Mayor, I'd just like to mention so that those individuals who are by chance on ICRC, that it is for Simmons, Adams, Carey, McGee, and Jackson, so that they know that we are coming their way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mayor, I'd like the motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll
Cap-
call. Roll
sorry.
call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion for the emergency clause. Move.
Second.
Been moved in second.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion in order for the first reading of Resolution 2023 R29.
Title. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2023-R-29, resolution accepting monies from the Small Event Grant Program, authorizing the interim manager to enter into a grant program agreement and establishing a special revenue fund therefore.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved in second.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
I just wanted to mention to whoever the event organizer is, there are a number of requirements in that contract, such as Hamilton County Board of Commissioners has to be prominently recognized in all literature and stuff. Mr. Key and I went through and I tagged all those items for him. But there is also a provision regarding the contracts we enter into with, for example, performers, food trucks, whatever. There are requirements about that as well. So if you would please just get with Mr. Key and, make sure you understand what we have to do to comply with that. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Inside, in the grant, we do mention what we're going to do and how we're going to recognize the commissioners.
Yeah, the contract's very specific
Yeah, I
about
mean, I'm
what
just
that
saying,
needs
we
to be
did
done.
that part, all but the part about, the individuals and the, individual subcontractors or people that are
Yeah.
hired to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't, but we did put in there how we would, recognize them, the things that we're gonna do to let people know that it was their money.
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay. So that would be listed on flyers as
Right, and
well? and-
Yeah, yeah.
recognize them, the signs, see what else did we say, fellas? But I put quite a bit of stuff in there.
Yeah, and it's kind of boilerplate language in their contract, so it may differ a little bit than what you put in the application. It's nothing onerous. I mean, I just something to be aware of, and the same thing with the contracts with third parties.
Thank the commissioners for the opportunity.
Yes, we want to thank them. Absolutely. Motion for passage?
Second.
So moved.
Second.
Whatever.
Let me do that again. Did you get it?
I guess Vice Mayor and then Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter. Is
Okay.
that correct?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, roll call.
Councilwoman,
thought it was the other way around. I think Ms. Child Jeter motion and then she second.
no, she's second from the mayor. The mayor said
Start it
something,
over.
she assumed.
we start?
Okay.
It was confusing, wasn't it? Is there a motion for passage?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson, Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Yes, it is. I was looking for, I didn't see it, unless it's on the back.
Second.
Yes, it is. Moved in second.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson, Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
We can do it on miscellaneous business. Okay. That way they don't have to go in it. She'll be glad to, and she will be. Okay, we're not gonna need to go in executive session. They're probably saying yay.
We don't have to go, is that what you said?
No.
Yay.
But we are gonna go into miscellaneous business, and Mr. Desai is going to.
Thank you, Mayor. At the last meeting, I believe Ms. Mitchell had made a motion that was passed to look into insurance for a potentially reconstituted police department. So I did send everybody an email letting everyone know what USI Insurance, which is our agent through the public entity pool. Rob Beglin had a long conversation with me. And in a nutshell, after reaching out to the underwriting department and the loss control department, the fact that it's been a long time, 6, 7 years, has not really improved our insurability. What they said is if we could get a couple years of a clean record, then it's something that they would, consider through the public entity pool. So what Mr. Beglin told me was that our alternative was to go to what they call a surplus line carrier. And what would happen is they would have obviously a high premium. They would have, most importantly, a high deductible. So he said the deductible would be anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. So the village is basically self-insuring for that amount. And they would more than likely require a reserve account be set up where that money was put into the account, so that if a claim was made, they knew the money was there. So that, honestly, my recollection is why we disbanded the police department, is we had a similar situation after we had those slew of claims and we were unable to be insured by a conventional insurer. we got a policy that had a $100,000 deductible. That was my recollection from 6 or 7 years ago, and that's why we disbanded, because we didn't want to absorb that potential liability on those claims. So that's what I have to report with regard to what's technically called professional liability insurance for the police department. Better news on the second piece, which is the bonding of our potential or our future manager. So there's an alternative to bonding now. Currently, we still bond. I'm not sure who all is bonded in the village. When I reached out to the administrative assistant and asked for a copy of the bonds, what I got was one bond for Miss Peterson. So I'm not sure if she's the only person bonded in the village or if there are others. But her bond is for $25,000. It's relatively cheap. It's $75 a year. So it's, you know, as far as insurance goes, relatively nothing. From my perspective, I don't think anybody's going to risk going to jail to steal 25 grand. However, the general fund of the village can have up to $1 million in it at any given time. Now, someone might be willing to go to jail to steal $1 million. And there are several people that have access to that fund at any given time. So even if we bonded them, the way I think, I'm like, $25,000 is a drop in the bucket for what they're probably going to steal if they were going to do that, right? So the alternative insurance gets rid of the whole bond concept. It's no longer tied to an individual. So you no longer have to worry about, is the individual going to, you know, have a good credit score? Do they have any bankruptcies? Do they have any criminal things? They don't look at any of that. Instead, it's more like a traditional insurance policy where they cover positions under Ohio law that are required to be bonded. So I presume under Ohio law, the finance director is required to be bonded. And we can go through and get a list of those individuals, but I would presume the manager needs to be bonded. So instead of covering or bonding an individual, it's just coverage for the position. And it doesn't matter who's in there.
Like the directors that we get.
Yeah, so it, you know, let's presume it's the manager, the tax administrator, and the finance director. What they would do is they would add an endorsement to the crime policy of our coverage called faithful performance. And that endorsement would then cover all those positions that are required under Ohio law to be bonded. So in our example here, manager, finance director, and tax administrator. More importantly, you can get higher amounts. So Rob told me most of his political jurisdictions are doing it at $100,000. He said some are doing it at $250,000. And I asked him, I said, what are we looking at in terms of an annual premium? And he said, probably, depending on where you want to be monetarily, anywhere from $2,100 to $3,100 annually to get that endorsement for all those positions. So to me, the upside is we don't have to go through the process of a bond application every time we have a new manager, new finance director, new administrator. Number two, we don't have to worry about what might be in their past that would prevent them from being bonded. And number three, we can get much higher amounts in terms of coverage than the $25,000 we're currently getting. The only real downside I see to it is more expensive. You know, if you figure Miss Peterson's getting $25,000 for $75 a year, well, what's 75 times 3 people? That's 225. So instead of $225 a year, the village would be looking to pay $2,100 to $3,100 a year. So that's the only downside I see to it, is the cost factor. But remember, your coverage is going up significantly from the 25,000. So I did speak to Mr. Key about it. Him and I went through it either on Thursday or Friday last week. I told him I was going to present that to council as well tonight, just for information purposes. Now, if we are going to move forward with this, council actually has to pass a resolution. So what I will do for our meeting on June 26th, I'll prepare the resolution. In the meantime, if people have questions, please reach out to me, and I'm happy to field them. Don't respond to my email, obviously, unless you're just going to respond directly to me, but don't hit reply all. And whether council wants to do it or not do it, I'll have the legislation prepared for the next meeting. But that legislation would need to be passed as part of getting the insurance in place. I asked Mr. Beglin how long after that would it take. And he said, if you have your application in and you have your legislation in, he said, we can have it ready for you in 24 hours. So if anyone has any questions now, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll move forward as I mentioned.
I don't have anything as of now. All right. Okay, any other miscellaneous business? Quiet. All right, if there's nothing further, then there's a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.